Hello and welcome back to Aubrey Books and Coffee. Please grab your favorite beverage of choice, some coffee, I hope, and let's talk about January. We are now into 2025. Doesn't that just blow your mind? It does mine. Oh my gosh, we are into a whole new year. I am so excited. So many good things happening. So let's go ahead and get talking. First off, I hope you enjoyed my 25 I'm excited to read in 2025 that I gave you a few weeks ago, because you're going to see some of these titles popping up as I do my game and see them kind of appearing, and I'm going to be working them in, of course. For the month of January, I'm going to be doing the TBRATHON by Leandra from the TBR Zero. I'll make sure all her info, she's going to be displayed here, but I'll also have her info down below for you all to have a quick, easy link to click on to be able to go be a part of it. The TBRathon is going to happen, I think she's probably doing it all year long, but I'm going to be focusing just on January for this one because each month I'm hoping to do a different readathon this time and hopefully have a lot of fun. My readathon is coming next month, so stay tuned for some nice announcements. I just can't talk today. Some announcements I'm going to be doing about how it has grown and shifted a little bit, how there'll be a new bookmark for those who participate, and other fun and exciting prizes that I'm hoping to incorporate, as well as my readathon next month will also now be automated, which will be fabulous because no longer are you waiting for me to come back with clues. You will get them automatically. So more on that in the announcement, which won't happen until at least midway through the month, a little closer to February, so that the anticipation isn't killing anybody. But for this one, basically, we're going to be following this board that she created. It looks so cute. She's big on dogs, so it's a lot of dog themes going on in here, which is adorable. And so stay tuned because I may or may not have already done the first roll in this one too. So be looking for that in this video. Also, I'm participating in Bree's bingo board that she has, the 25 and 2025 that I kind of hinted at in my video. I'm going to be doing this, like I said, all year long to kind of incorporate things, but I'm also making it a part of January as well. You'll see that in the video today, I hope. And this, of course, is from Four Paws in a Book, Bree. And again, her stuff will be linked below as well. You need to check these awesome booktubers out. Moving forward, let's get going on our game. All right, I'm hoping that the volume is good this time. I'm trying something new here, so please bear with me since somebody said they couldn't hear me when I do my rolls. So I'm hoping this actually helps with that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what we get for our first roll. Oh no. So apparently we're going to have 6 different prompts today. That is going to be unfortunate. January is going to be a very, very busy month. And the first one is a cookie. And for the cookie we have, and wow, so we have a beautiful cover and we got our very first pick ends up giving us a coffee break. Wah, wah. 6 rolls. Are you kidding me? This right here is why I switched from a 20-sided die to an 8-sided die to now a 6-sided die for this very reason. Anyway, if there's not chaos, it's not enjoyable. So I guess we'll just go ahead and make do. So for our first prompt, we got a beautiful cover. So I chose House of War and Bone by Leah Stone. This is the sequel to House of Ash and Shadow that I gave 4 stars. I've been wanting to continue the series. I want to get better about actually finishing these series that I start, especially ones that I enjoyed so much. And I just think that is one exquisite cover. All right, let's see what we get for our coffee break. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, I guess I'll choose this one. The other one went flying on me, so we will do this. And one-handed makes it, of course, a little bit tougher, but it looks like we're going to have a coffee. And it says, ooh, I get to gain a check mark on my TBR card. Yes, yes, yes. So our coffee break was super nice to us. I love that. I stole this TBR card from Kim and Whimsical Narratives, and it's what I use to earn books. That way I don't spend too much. And so it says I get a free check mark. I am excited to do that. I am super close to getting another free book, which not free. I mean, I have to pay for them, but I actually pay for them ahead of time. Anytime there's a really good sale and half price books, and I put them on my shelf over on the other side that you cannot see right here. And I just choose from those. So yay. Thank you, coffee break. And our second prompt is a book which says a book with a pink cover. So I know it says pink cover, but I'm going to fib and stretch it a little bit to have pink on the cover, because one of the gorgeous books that I got from my mom for Christmas is Lux Obsidian by Jennifer Armentrout, and it's got pink definitely on the cover, and it is just so pretty. I have to. And I've always wanted to try this series anyway, so now I've got the perfect excuse to do so. And this, I believe, follows, why can't I remember her name? Of course, I can't remember her name. Well, whatever her name is, she's had to move because of her mother, and her next door neighbor, one of her next door neighbors is Damon, and he's super hot. And so she's attracted to him, but then he opens his mouth and he is an absolute jerk. And so that kind of throws her for a little bit, but she kind of befriends his sister and they're hanging out and everything's going good until one night a stranger says, "Hey, could you help me?" Don't ever do that. We talked about this last month and the month before. Don't be that nice person. Get in your car, drive away. They can AAA. So anyway, she goes to try to help this stranger. And of course, he tries to grab her and nab her. But thankfully, Damon swoops in and saves her using powers. And she's like, "What the heck? How do you have powers?" And he says, "I'm an alien." So I am super excited to see what this is going to end up being all about. And roll 3. Another book. Very fitting. And a short read. Oh, thank goodness. The next prompt is a short read. And while this isn't novella short, I was so thankful I got a couple of those last month. It is around 300 pages, which for me can be kind of short. Not to mention, I forgot to say earlier, I want this month to be a lot of, if possible, continuing series, or to do a lot of snow, ice, cold kind of themes to match January's normal theme. And so for this one, it's got a lot of blue on the cover, and I've been dying to try it, but could not talk my book club into trying it. And that's The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And so I'm excited to get into it. Again, lots of the blue. It's even got a present, which gives me some, last month feels. This is going to be following some teenagers that get recruited by the FBI because they have certain abilities. Think The Mentalist kind of abilities. And yeah, they're supposed to help track down serial killers, kind of like on Criminal Minds. And so I'm excited to see how this is going to unravel, because of course it's going to. All right. And for our fourth roll, a roll again. We've not seen a coffee cup yet, so I choose coffee cup. And the coffee cup says to read a sequel. Yay! Our fourth prompt is perfect. Like I said, I'm wanting to continue series. Thank you for that game. And that got us a sequel, which of course I had to pick up, Blood of the Chosen by Django Wexler. This was an incredible birthday gift from Tina because she's amazing and so sweet. And I can't wait to pick up after Ashes. I need to know what's happening with these siblings. I need to know what's going on. I don't want to spoil anything for the first book, but let's just say 5 stars. It blew me away, and I cannot wait to continue. Roll number 5. Peppermint. And the peppermint says, a book with orange cover. Wow, lots of colors happening in this game. So for roll 5, we got orange on the cover. This one is a little bit more fitting than that pink one was. There's lots of orange on this one. I chose the next book in Spark of the Everflame series, and that is going to be Glow of the Everflame by Pencool. And I don't want to spoil anything about what happened in book 1. Let's just say the cover shows you everything you need to know. And so I have been dying to get back into this series. And our last roll, thank goodness, is another book. I like that we're ending on a book, and it says, to fulfill a bingo square. Nice. So our last prompt was for a bingo board square. So for this, of course, I chose Brie. I hinted earlier that I was probably going to do this at some point. And so here it will fit nicely. And for her little 25 and 2025, I'm choosing the square that is a one-word title. Now, technically, there's 2 words because they have the, but she said we could do a and the and scratch it off if we needed to. So I am for this one, and I'm choosing The Thief. This one gives me very chilly kind of vibes because we're following Jen, who's always been like the best thief to ever live, or at least that's what he brags about in all the pubs. Well, someone overhears him. He gets arrested. He gets thrown into a dark and cold dungeon. He thinks that's it for him. There's no way he can escape, no matter how good he is and talented. It's literally impossible to escape from this dungeon. Well, then he gets an offer he literally can't refuse, and that is to join a group to go and steal a very magical and special item. I don't know what it is, but they worded it better on the back. I apologize. I hate reading on the back, so I'm trying to give you a synopsis here, but you can read it on GoodReads. But anyway, so he actually agrees to go and to steal this item with this group, and if they succeed, then he's free. He's earned his freedom. If they don't, they're all dead. Now we're going to draw from the apothecary jar. Excited about that. There's always a ton of options that I don't even remember putting in here. All right, and this one says Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So the apothecary jar said, you want cold and ice and snow? I'm going to give you summertime. It doesn't always follow what I wanted to, right? So for this prompt in our little list there, I've got Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So we're in Malibu in like 1983. And apparently there's 4 famous siblings that are going to throw an end of the summer party. And it's going to be epic. And it sure is. But as secrets come out, more and more accidents are happening around this mansion. And by the end of the night, the mansion's on fire. I cannot wait to see what kind of chaos is going to be happening here. All right, now I'm going to do my Advent jar. Super excited to get to do this. I get to pick 2 of them and read the books that I recommend to you all each month. So we have number 1 and we have number 2. Or we have number 2 right there. There we go. Put that over there and let's see what we've got. Our first one is... Oh, good. Finally get to finish the series by Holly Black. This is The Prisoner's Throne. I got caught up on all the Elfhame. Now I just need to finish this last one. I'm excited about that. And then the next one looks like The Courting of Bristol Keats, I think it is, by Mary E. Pearson. And so I am super excited to get to that one as well. And I love the Advent jar. I always have, and I'm always going to continue that because every time I give you the top 3 each month I'm most excited about coming out, I don't always get to those on my own. So by having this beautiful jar, I make sure I get to read them. And just like I've always wanted, I got The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. This finally will end Elfhame for me. I've had to do a lot of catching up, as you know, throughout last year. But now I finally get to do the last book and I get to say goodbye to this realm and this world that I've had such a good time in. I cannot wait to report back to you how it was. The second one that we drew was The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. This one I had mentioned previously as being 2 sisters that are orphaned, and so you have one trying to help raise the other one. They're barely making ends meet in their tiny town. All of a sudden, the older sister starts getting letters from this mysterious aunt she's never heard about before. The aunt offers to meet up and help their situation. So when they meet up, she finds out that she now has to, the older sister, travel to this new realm that's got fays and monsters. And in order to do all of that, or by doing all of that, she will get the money that she needs to help support her sister forever. So it's one of those things she can't really not do. So I'm interested in seeing this. I love a good sister dynamic, and I'm hoping it gives me all the things. Now we get to choose from our book box books. I need to make sure I get through those. for you all. Okay, we'll just pick this one. It was at the top. And it says, drum roll, The Courting of Bristol Keats. Well, we have that already from the Advent jar. I got to double dip, but I like to add books to my list. So we'll go ahead and pick up this one instead, which is For She Is Wrath. So there's actually not very many books that are in the jar anymore. I'm so excited. I'm getting caught up on all of these beautiful editions for you guys. But the one that I drew this time is For She Is Wrath by Emily Varga. I'm excited. It is beautiful. So if it's not a 5-star, it'll be ready for our next drawing. This one, we are following Denaya. She was framed for a crime that she didn't commit by a guy that she loved and trusted. And so while she's sitting there counting down the days in prison until she can gain her freedom back, she meets a fellow prisoner who says that they know of a secret location of a djinn treasure that will grant wishes. So now they're plotting to escape the prison and go find that treasure for themselves. So I cannot wait to see if she exacts her revenge and what kind of mayhem happens as they're on their way to even get it. All right, Bookopoly time. And it looks like we have a 6 and a 2. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, YA fiction. Okay, I'm excited about that. Get some young adult fiction going on. Bookopoly is so fun. Of course, I'm carrying it into this year as well. So I made the roll and I land on the square of YA fiction, which I was just contemplating last month. Should I continue YA fiction or not? Or am I just getting bad book choices? And that's why I'm struggle busing it so much. Well, this will help also determine the fate of my YA future, because for this particular square, I chose Dark Secrets. It's actually a combination of 2 different books by Elizabeth Chandler. The first one is Legacy of Lies, and the other one is Don't Tell. So I can't wait to dive into these. I know it's involving families, it's involving legacies, obviously, and secrets, and it's involving 2 different stories, obviously, and 2 different timelines. And so there's a lot going on in this book, and I'm hoping at least one of them will crack the mystery for me. So since Sarah Beth has an undetermined time frame for when she's going to finish Shrink the Shelf, and again, I go into more detail with that in other like sprints and things like that. But the long story short, she's got a little one. She's been moving, holidays, lots of things, plus actually getting a manufacturer to make these games, I guess, takes a lot more than she was expecting. There was some upset and confusion going on by people who helped back it like I did with the Kickstarter, because they were thinking you took our money in June or July. And then, yeah, we're like hard pressed to get updates even once a month on what's going on with this. We were promised we would have the game October, then November, then December. And then you said you'd give us a board in December. That was at least a Christmas version of it, and didn't provide that. And so now here we are in January, still not having the game or any idea or inkling of when it's going to come out. So I understand the frustration on that side of it. I understand the frustration that she has of a lot on her plate. But then they also bounce back with, yeah, but you're putting out a lot of videos. So you obviously have time to put out video and content. Where's the time being put into the game? So again, it's back and forth, sometimes unfortunately a little ugly. So all that to say, I'm no longer going to give updates on when this game will come out. I will just have it ready for you whenever I do eventually get it. Meanwhile, I am going to be using the bingo board and that I created that goes off of the dice that I use for my own game, in the hopes of kind of having another fun game in here that will still help me shrink these shelves and get these books off of my shelves that I want. And I'm also potentially going to be looking into, kind of like I used a game board creator for the game you see today, I'm going to try to make my own version of Shrink the Shelf that I backed on her Kickstarter. Obviously, I'm not going to rip off the exact idea, but I'm going to kind of do my own version of that. And that way, if it's a whole nother year before we see her game, I've got something in place. So anyway, more on that to come later. So for now, let's take a look at that bingo board. We're doing my fun bingo board, which remember I roll 3 times so that I can pick 3 books off my shelves to shrink those shelves. If I end up repeating a space from my rolls, then that means I have to add an additional book. But I only have to do that 1 time, so max 4 books will come from this. And then if I get a bingo, I get to clear the board and add a check mark on my TBR card. So let's do it. I'm excited. Cookie. All right. Only 1 chance of repeating. So here we go. Anything but a coffee. Oh, no, of course, because that's how January is going. Womp womp. Which means I'm now going to have to roll 4 times. So, dang it. We have Cookie. All right. I don't know. Cookie did us dirty last time. And a roll again, which means I have to roll again. So Cookie and a peppermint, and that has us on a sequel. And the first square is a sequel. Yes, because I have one I really want to get off of my shelf. And that is Escaping from Houdini by Carrie Maniscalco. I love Carrie Maniscalco, especially her whole series up there, Kingdom of the Wicked. Absolutely 5 stars. Love the whole series. This one I've been really enjoying. 3 and 4 stars. We had first was Stalking Jack the Ripper. And then the next one was something with Dracula. And so now this is the 3rd one, and I am so excited because I love the main characters. They are so stinking cute together, and I actually really love Houdini. So I'm excited to see what kind of history is going to be woven into this story. All right, going for roll number 2 now. Starting at the wine glass, and I have none there, so at least I know I won't repeat. I'll roll again. Another wine glass. So wine glass and wine glass is an author or character of color. Love it. And the next square we landed on was person of color, which I always love. That's why I try to put it on everything that I play. For this one, I chose a short graphic novel because I also love graphic novels, and that is Nubia, Real One by L.L. McKinney and Robin Smith. I think this looks absolutely incredible. We're following a main character, Nubia, who has the strength of an Amazonian, almost like, dare I say, Wonder Woman-esque. And so I'm really excited. She's going to have to rally and protect the people of her town. And so I can't wait to see what happens. All right. And our 3rd bingo roll is a book. Okay. Only 1 space. Anything but Cookie. Seriously. Thankfully, I only get 1 extra roll. Oh my gosh. Wine glass. So book and wine glass is a backlist archive. And for the backlist, I chose For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. I've enjoyed some Hannah Witten in the past, and so I'm hoping I will again for a backlist title. This is supposed to be following a second daughter, and only the one born in centuries. The first one born in centuries. I cannot talk today, which is perfect when you're trying to do a TBR game. Basically, her name is Red. Of course it is, like Red, Riding Hood kind of thing. But basically, because she's the second daughter and the first one born in centuries, she has to be sacrificed to the wolf. So she goes into the woods. She is resigned to her fate if it means saving her people and her family. When she gets there, she finds out the wolf is actually not a wolf, but a man. All right, the last one. Would have loved to have had a bingo, but a lot of roll agains this time. A cookie, okay. We're looking there. Good grief. A peppermint. So cookie and a peppermint is a square I've already gotten. Man, I'm so glad I gave the rule of only 1. Cookie and a book has me outside my comfort zone. And because I got a repeat square, I had to do yet another roll. So for this one, ended up landing on Outside My Comfort Zone. I've been putting this one off for a very long time, so I'm considering it outside my comfort zone and hoping to finally get it off my shelf one way or the other. And that is The Paladin Prophecy by Mark Frost. This follows Will, who always lives by a certain number of rules his entire life. And then apparently a millennial old battle that has been going on. He gets sucked into it, and now he's having to break his own rules, and it's freaking him out. And so that sounds like it's going to have some humor in it. It sounds like it's going to be really good. And these rules remind me a lot of Zombieland and that guy's rules that he had. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope enjoyable. So the number generator, when I spun the wheel, ended up getting us on 49, which was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Again, it doesn't give a lot of frost and cold vibes, but there is some blue on the cover, so I'm considering that a win. We're going to be following Alexis, who's an ER doctor and comes from a very wealthy family that have certain expectations. We're also following Daniel, who's 10 years younger than Alexis and as casual and laid back as can be. And how on earth are they going to be able to reconcile their two worlds together? This sounds like it's going to be adorable and relatable. I'm also a part of several book clubs because I love, like I said, being able to share the books with other people. Sometimes reading can be a very solo activity. It's nice when we have others to read, buddy reads with, or in these book clubs, virtual or in person. So I'm all about them anytime. You just let me know. Starting off, of course, my own selfish promotion here, the ABC Book Club. I don't do as much on Instagram anymore as I do on the Discord, but if you really want to be an active participant, just give me a message on Instagram to let me know, and I'll start posting on Instagram again. But it seemed like nobody was really responding there, so I've kind of gone away from that and done mostly on Discord. So just let me know, though. I'm never going to require somebody to download something that they don't normally have on their phone. You just got to let me know. But for this month, the group chose Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. This is going to be following Nora Walker, who comes from the Walker Woman line, and they're all witches, and they all have certain abilities and powers. Then you find this poor little boy named Oliver, who ends up getting lost in the woods and needs Nora's special powers of finding things to try to find him before it's too late. So I think it's going to be nice and cool and chilly, and I love that. So good job to my book club for the picking. Next, we have Liv's book club from Liv's library. She's beautiful and wonderful. You need to go check her out. Our book is going to be A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. This is one that I am highly anticipating in my 2025, so I love that this is a pick for book club. We're following some twins. One unfortunately dies, and so the sister ends up going to where her twin had passed away, goes through some of the things there, and starts uncovering some secrets. So I think that sounds very family dynamic. Adrienne Young does that beautifully. Then for my physically meeting together at the local library, we're doing My Dear Hamilton. We're going to see Eliza's perspective, and I just know I'm going to be hearing the musical of Hamilton in my head the whole time I'm reading this, but I can't wait. I think it's going to be absolutely excellent, and I can't wait to hear her voice and how things went down. Then in Mel's indie archive group that she shares with Cassidy and covers with Cassidy, again, all these booktubers info will be linked below because I want to make sure you guys can check them out. Super easy. They're all wonderful, or I wouldn't be a part of their Patreons and be a part of their book clubs. They're going to be doing City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. We're going to be following Lauren, who is the only human in a city full of vampires, werewolves, witches, and other supernatural entities. She's almost abducted, but gets help from Darian, who is the leader of the feared dark slaying circle. And it sounds like they have to team up because lots of women are suddenly going missing. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. And that cover is exquisite. And then moving on to NetGalley. So in my NetGalley area, because you know I had that 95% that I got last month. Woo! Tooting my own horn. Woo! Let's see if we can't get to 100% somehow. I'm choosing to read The Prophet's Gambit by Ellie Everest. Basically, we're following 17-year-old Eris who is obsessed with dreams. Unfortunately, she can't remember half of hers and seems to lose her memory a lot. Well, we also meet up with Alec, who together they're going to try and find Cassidian, I think is how it's pronounced, which is a hidden realm where all your dreams come true. I think it sounds fabulous. I want to be there. I think that'd be great. And then for Goodreads win, I am blessed that I was given a Kindle copy of The Case of the Stolen Goddess by John Amos. This feels very Greek. Apparently, we're following two detectives, Flinders and Thomas, as they're searching for a stolen statue of Aphrodite. I think that sounds amazing. And I think that's it for this list. So to continue a series, like I said, this year especially, I am focusing heavily on this. You'll be seeing vlogs in the future about it. I'm going to be continuing the Kingdom of Crows series by reading House of Pounding Hearts by Olivia Wildenstein. The first book, House of Beating Wings, I gave 5 stars. I'm really hoping I'll give the same love and enjoyment in this one and see where it takes me from there. And those top 3 new releases that I cannot wait for January. First, of course, is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. We're all dying for book 3 in the Empyrean series. Come on, bring it, bring it, bring it. We're going to take off work and we're all going to read it and just have all the feels. I'm also excited for Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. This is following some girls that are in one of those... what do you want to call that? One of those buildings, houses for girls who get knocked up, basically. And so they're all kind of living there and miserable under that hierarchy until a local librarian gives one of the girls a book on witchcraft. So I cannot wait to see the chaos that ensues in that. And I love Grady Hendrix's work, so I have no doubt this will be just as much fun. And then Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young is also coming out, which again is a book club and a 20 in 2025. So win all the way around. I hope you guys are excited for one of these. Let me know below if there's any that you are super excited about coming out that I didn't mention. And in the TBR that we ended up accumulating here, let me know if there's any that sound really good to you and you might be adding, and any that you're planning on reading for January that I didn't mention at all. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Bonus roll because you're still here watching. How about that? 2. Starting here, 1, 2, an odd number of pages. So for this first roll, I ended up getting odd number of pages. So I'm going to be doing The Scepter, which has 87 pages by J. Bree. This is a novella that happens in the Mortal Fates prior to the very first book, The Crown of Oaths and Curses. I didn't read it beforehand because we were reading it as a book club, and so I just wanted to jump into The Crown. I loved it so much, 5 stars. That's why it's on my shelf in a beautiful edition. But now I kind of want to go back while I've got the time and read some of these novellas that happened first, see if maybe I can like the main character guy a little more, because right now I hate him. I hate him hard. So anyway, thank you all for being here. Please please like, subscribe, and send your friends. And maybe I'll talk better next time. Blah, blah, blah.